So my name is Bruce, and today we're going to look at how to create an SVG animation. Um, so I've got obviously my Figma here, and if I right click on this, and then I can go to copy paste as SVG. So I can copy that, and I could paste that directly in, but I want to make some waves. So I'm going to come over and put it into Illustrator, obviously. And then I'm going to just move these out of the way so I can get rid of the RGB codes. And essentially what I want to do is just kind of drag them, make them the size of the screen, and then I'm going to grab the path tool and do things kind of like this. And then I'm going to do the next one. Actually, let me just go like this. And I should be able to reverse layers. There we go. And we'll do this one the same. And kind of something like this. But this is what I ended up with, and what I'd like to do is to animate these waves or designs, kind of moving left or right in the background of either a header element or the top of a card or something like that. So now I'm going to go File and Save As. And I want to save it as an SVG. And if I click Save, and here I've got CSS properties as style elements, right? So I'm not sure if that's the default or not, or if that's just on my computer. And then I've got these things checked to making text path and responsive. And if I click on SVG code and click OK, right now we can see. Right, it's given me a bunch of groups and taken the ID from the layers into the group, so I can easily grab those. So I can just copy all this, and then I'm going to go and open up Visual Studio Code, and we'll plop it in to a context and see if we can't start animating. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I've copied my cards demo, I guess base HTML, and we're going to continue on with the SVG Waves animation tutorial here. So let me just give this a name, I guess SVG Waves Animation. And I've got a little main section here. And to start off with, let's put the animation into a header. So I'm just going to put a header here. And then I've copied and pasted my SVG to here. So I'm just going to copy it and then paste it back into here. I've also connected it up to a style sheet, and I've created that style sheet. But as you can see, there's nothing in it yet. So we'll start off by I'll just grab this stuff here, the fill colors, and we'll put them into the style sheet just so that we can reuse this on multiple pages. Let me just delete the style here, we don't need it, and we'll paste those here. Next is, let's just take a look at the waves. So we've got the class names here. Let me just try and see if I can do a little something. So I'm going to grab these class names. So Control D, 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 and then I'm going to go to the end, shift back to the beginning, copy these. Look how lazy I am. And then animation styles. So I'm going to paste those, and now I'm going to replace all of these. So Command or Control D, D, D. And so I want to use a obviously whatchamacallit, a hash sign, so that I'm referring to the IDs. Then I'm going to get rid of the kind of quotes and stuff at the end. Oh, and you can see Copilot's suggesting I do stuff. I kind of want that. But let me just do it by hand here. And then I'm going to go down and make another little space. Perfect. Okay. And so if I save this and then go and look, right, so we can see and go and look. We can see we've got the waves and stuff like that. And if we inspect our waves, we can see we've got orange 5 and it's here and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so let's, orange 5 is, I guess, the very bottom one. So if I take this and I do a transform, so I'm just checking out where the position and things are. So obviously translate X. And if we use the 10 viewport width, if we use viewport widths, we can see we're translating it kind of 1/10 of the viewport, and we can see it kind of goes like that. But what I wanted to do is to kind of go off the screen and be able to go back and forth and kind of like a wavy kind of motion. So I'm going to start off by going in here, and I'm going to set my header element to have a width of 200 viewport width. So now you can see this, they look bigger. They actually look kind of the size I was expecting. And now if we go back to that orange and we start translating it left or right, you can see we can go up to almost 200. I'm not quite sure why it's not 200 exactly. And then we can go over here to 0, really. Right? So we can kind of go between, well, yeah, something like that, 100 or maybe 10 to 150 viewport width. Actually, I wonder if I turn this off. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay, because it's actually taking into account the part I'm looking at. So we can go basically from, like 10 to 90 viewport width, something along those lines, and still be in there. Okay. So that gives me a good idea. So let's go back to the CSS. I'm going to add that header. I'm going to add it at the top because, header's at the top. So header, and we're going to put the width to 200 viewport. So the viewport width is obviously the width of the viewport, or the width of the browser, or what we're seeing in the browser. So I'm making my header twice as wide as the browser. And then, obviously I can put that transform translate X in here, right, or in these, and that will work, but I want it to be animated. So let's use keyframes. I think that'll make it kind of a good way of doing it. What am I going to call this? Wave maker, maybe? Because I'm making waves? Sure. And then, yeah, this is kind of what I want, right? I'm going to do a transform translate X. And I want to translate that X from, let's put it at, I don't know, like 4 viewport width, no, -4 viewport width. And we said we could go up to 150, so 150 viewport width. And now if I add the animation, we'll start with this one, so animate. Right, animation, and then I want to do wave maker. Oh, look at that, linear, infinite, looks good, kind of, maybe. I'm going to put it to 12 seconds. I want it to do ease in out. I want it to be infinite. I want it to alternate, right, so it goes back and forth. So let's just take a look at what this does. So if I come back here and refresh, and why is it going way over there? Craziness. That was not what I was expecting. because I want it to go to minus 150. All right, let's try this. There we go. That's looking much better. And so it should get to about minus 150. Oh, that's too far. So it's not minus 150. It's minus like 90 viewport width. Right? Because it's half. Okay. So let's see here if this works. And it should get to the end, and because we're alternating, now it should do the keyframe animation from minus 90 back to minus 10 or 4 or whatever I put. And it seems to have done that. Okay. So that's good. So let's copy this. We're going to add the same thing and paste it here. And this time, there's two things I want to happen. One is I want it to go the other way. I don't want all my waves kind of going the same way. So I'm going to do animate hyphen reverse. And then the other thing is, as we move away, like if we think of it in terms of parallax effect, right? So things in the distance move more slowly than things in the that are closer. I can put this up to, I don't know. Let's go like 18 seconds instead of 12. And then for this one, I can go right. So it's going to do the same thing, but it's going to go the same as the front one. Instead of 18, I'll put it to like 30 seconds. And then the black one, kind of almost at the back, I'm going to put it to like, I don't know, like 48 seconds. Maybe it should be 60. I don't know about these numbers, but we'll see. And then obviously this one, I want it to reverse. So let's save that and flip back over and Command Shift R to refresh. So we're refreshing all the files. And now we should see, oh, I like that. That's kind of cool. And then now I can't even tell which way they're moving. Yeah, no, they're moving backwards now. Okay, that's cool. Well, some of them are moving backwards. Some of them are still moving forward. You can see the black one in the back is still kind of moving the original way. It hasn't alternated yet, whereas the front orange ones have already alternated. Oh, look at that. That's not what I was expecting. Okay, let's take care of that. So we'll do inspect. I'm just going to slide my inspection thing down here at the bottom so it won't affect that. And then so if we do header width, so we need on the body, and maybe I'll wrap the header in something else or wrap the SVG. Oh, maybe I'll do that. I'll get rid of the header on the width here, but on the SVG, I'm going to put the width to 200 viewport width. There we go. And so now you can, oh, it's still going that way. And so here on the header, I'm going to have to add overflow hidden. Okay, so I think that's got it. So obviously I need to go and fix those things. So header, I'm going to say overflow hidden. And then here I'm going to do header SVG. And again, Copilot's suggesting a bunch of stuff. This is not what I want. But the width here is going to be, right, 200 viewport width. Right, so those are those things that we said. I think everything else is fine. So let's just go back here and refresh. Okay, and then we can see we've got some pretty good movement. Just wait for it to go through one cycle. We'll probably cut this out or speed it up. yeah, that's looking pretty good. So we get to the end. Hopefully we won't see the ends of the things. Yeah, I'm liking the way that works, the way that looks. Yeah. So again, we've gone from Illustrator, or actually from Figma into Illustrator, exported the SVG, and then brought that into our HTML. Sorry, as you can see here. Yep. And let me just grab all of this and doop, 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 tab it in so it's easier to read. And then we've added the CSS, a keyframe animation, just transforming the wave from one position to another. And then set the size of the SVG to be twice the width of the screen or the browser, the viewport, and set the overflow to hidden on the header to get that nice effect. So I hope this helps.